This is a chair yoga practice that you can do seated in your chair. And this is specifically really great for anyone that might have to stay seated most of the time. If you're in a wheelchair, this is also for my mom. So when you have limited ability to stand, you still want to stay active. So being in a chair, you can still do some yoga and stretching. So let's start in a comfortable position, sitting as tall as you can in your chair. So we want to have that tall, regal spine as much as possible. So when you're seated, invite that sense of having a dignified spine, gently drawing your abdominals in slightly and lengthening energetically through the crown of your head. So you're sitting up a little bit taller, inviting more space between each vertebrae. So we want to avoid this slumping and slouching position, which puts a lot of strain on the low back. So if I were to slump, it might look like this. So sitting up nice and tall, you grow a couple inches. So try to maintain that tall spine as much as you can. If you're in a chair such as I'm sitting in, this folding chair, you might scoot your hips back until you feel the back of the chair supporting you. And sometimes that gives a little awareness to your spine. Notice how this feels. So remember, this is always about how your body feels. Always find variations as you need to, and only do as much as feels appropriate for you on any given day. Might be different today than yesterday or tomorrow. So pause for a moment and just notice your breath. Sitting up nice and tall, see if you can invite a little bit fuller inhale and a slow, soft exhale. Breathe through your nose. And then reach your arms out, only as far as feels appropriate to you. And as you inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Pause. Notice how that feels. And again, only going as far as feels appropriate to you. Reach your arms out and up. And exhale, hands to your heart. And one arm or shoulder may not go as high as the other, or you may have limited range of motion. Just honor that. Listen to what your body's telling you. And then inhale, opening the arms out wide, only as far as feels appropriate to you. Maybe turning the palms up and then turning the palms down. Slowly turning the palms up and then down. If you need to lower the arms a little, that's totally fine. Turning your palms up and then rotating the palms down. And then bring your arms in a little bit closer to you and rotate your wrists. Notice which direction you're going and how that feels in your wrists and hands and fingers. And then go the other way. Notice how that feels. And then relax and pause. Notice sensation. And then getting into the shoulders a little bit. Let's lift our shoulders up, take them back, and slowly down. Slowly lift your shoulders up, take them back and down. Again, lift the shoulders up, back, and down. Again, up, back, and down. And then pause. Notice how that feels. And if you're in a chair where you can sit a little further forward so your feet are flat on the floor, you might find that position so you can feel a little more grounded in your feet. And if you're in a chair where your feet don't touch the floor, see if you can put some support under your feet. Maybe stacks of books, yoga blocks, or those old telephone books that most of us don't use anymore that are stacked up in a corner. Those work great for stability. And just have that sense of grounding through your feet, just gently pressing into your feet. So you might start to feel your legs activate a little bit. And then maybe hold the chair and sit up nice and tall. You can scoot back a little if you feel you would be more stable. And engage your core. So just very gently lift one foot up and then lower it. Notice how that feels. Lift your other foot up just an inch or two and then lower it down. Notice how that feels. If that's too much, then stop. Don't go any further. You can start to build up and just notice little changes each day. Again, lift the other foot up and you're holding onto the chair in some way for support and lower it down. This is working your core. Lift the leg up, the other leg, and lower it down. It's helping to build up core strength as well as working your hip flexors, which is used in walking if you want to get a little stronger standing or walking, just being mindful of what works for you. And if that was maybe a little too much, this one might be a little easier. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll like the first one better. We'll see. So from here, keeping your thighs on the chair this time, and just slowly straightening one leg out as you inhale, and then exhale, bringing it back. Inhale, straighten your other leg out, and exhale, bend. 2 more times on each side, holding the chair for support. Inhale, straightening one leg out. Exhale, lower it down. Again, inhale the other leg, straightening it a little bit, and then bend it back. One more time on each side. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And pause. And then coming into a little bit of stretching in the upper back and shoulders. Bring your arms into this position. Take an inhale and exhale. And then inhale, take the arms back slightly. Notice how that feels. And then bring them forward. Hands touch elbows and forearms may or may not touch. Let's see if you can squeeze them together a little bit. And then opening the arms and closing. Notice how that feels. And then release the arms down by your side. Depending on the chair you're in, you might be able to hold the frame of the chair with one hand for stability. And reach your other arm only as far as you can up above your head. Maybe a little side bend over to the side where you're holding the chair. And then slowly come back up and exhale, lower the arm down. Inhale, reach the other arm up. Sit up nice and tall. And then exhale over to the other side. Only going as far as feels appropriate to you. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale, lowering. And just pause and notice how you feel. And then we're going to come into a little bit of twists. Twists are really great for the spine, but you never want to force your way into any twist. So you never want to try to go further than feels comfortable for you to just naturally twist. So you might extend your arms out and again sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, twist to your right and then lower your hands and arms down, maybe onto the side of your chair, maybe the hand that's in front to the opposite leg, and just notice how that feels. You might turn your head slightly towards the back if that feels comfortable for you. And then inhale, unwind, come back to center, and pause. Notice if one side feels different than the other. And again, extend your arms out, take an inhale, exhale, twist to your other side. Lower your hands and arms down, and it's wherever they want to go comfortably. Don't force your arms or shoulders or hands to go somewhere where that doesn't feel comfortable. If you want to just keep your hands on your legs, that's totally fine too. And depending on the chair you're in, it might be more comfortable just to keep your hands on your legs. Maybe both hands coming onto the leg, the side that you're twisting towards. And then inhale, coming back. And again, pause. Notice sensation. So pausing here, just being aware of your breath, any sensation, any echo from our practice today. Just notice how you feel. Taking those moments to pause and really tune in to what your body is telling you are so important. Sometimes the pauses are even more important than the pose itself. Thank you, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that practice today. Please remember to subscribe if this resonated with you. I'll be doing some more chair yoga in the future, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.